Right now on the Home Strategist, you probably watched a home renovation show on TV and thought, that looks easy enough. Or maybe that doesn't seem realistic at all. Here's the truth. These shows are not designed to teach you how to think. They're designed to keep you watching. They're entertainment. But if you know what to look for, you can actually learn a lot from them. And also learn what to ignore. Let's break it all down together. I'm Dr. C, and you're watching The Home Strategist. I admit that given what I do, I've watched a ton of home improvement television, maybe so you don't have to. And no doubt these shows can be very entertaining. However, for someone with home improvement experience, they can also be equally frustrating and very annoying. But if you're learning to be a home strategist, these shows can play a role in your development, both good and bad, if viewed in the proper context. So let's break down some of the positives and negatives of home improvement TV.
No, I'm digging this house. I really like it. I like the pops of the natural wood with the gray and the white.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love it.
So here's the thing. We couldn't make your galley kitchen wider. We couldn't make it longer, but we can make it bigger by going up. So you have storage all the way to the ceiling.
Now it's bright and open. It's like basically the polar opposite.
Oh, look at this flooring though. The herringbone pattern is
It's perfect.
amazing, especially when
Vent in this obstacle that was in this kitchen.
It's so big and beautiful. This is so pretty.
She doesn't want to leave her kitchen.
One thing these shows do really well is expose you to different design styles. Farmhouse, mid-century modern, craftsman, Victorian, modern. Most people don't even realize that these categories exist. And once you start to see them, you start to recognize patterns, materials, colors, lines, and layouts. That's valuable because strategy starts with awareness. If you don't know what you like, you're just copying random ideas. Now let's talk about the part that's completely misleading. The drama. Deadlines, budget blowups, unexpected disasters. So you're trying to tell me that an experienced contractor didn't know that HVAC duct was in the wall? Come on. It's constant.
After having removed the countertop, the base cabinets are not structurally strong enough to carry the weight of new granite. This is not what I want to put brand new countertops on.
Drama keeps people watching. But in real life, here's the reality. Most projects are actually pretty boring. They might be frustrating at times. They might run a little long. They might go a little over budget. Newsflash, they pretty much all do. But they don't usually explode into abject chaos.
What is it?
Oh, ew! There's like a pool of yellow liquid.
What?
There's been something recently living under there.
What?
maybe it's lemonade.
Lemonade that happens to spell like ammonia. That's just a little bit weird, but that's definitely more than a mouse is gonna pee. You look like you're about to hurl.
Yeah.
Come and look at this, just so you can understand a bit more.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I just want you to understand how rotted out some of this is.
Did you really think you could fix that?
I know I could.
If your project feels like a TV episode, you're probably doing something wrong.
How much is it going to cost?
It's going to be about a quarter of the construction budget.
Seriously?
Whoa! Oh my gosh. Okay, you are not gonna like this.
Here's where these shows can actually be helpful. They show you what's possible, oftentimes without massive structural changes.
Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. You guys have outdone yourself.
Does it pass inspection?
Oh, absolutely. Look at the colors.
Do you like it?
I love it.
You asked for calming.
Calming. I can breathe and be at home.
Not everything requires a complete teardown. Sometimes paint, finishes, lighting, that's enough to completely change a space. Good design is often about restraint, not demolition. And this is where people get it all wrong. They think improvement requires destruction. It usually doesn't. This might be the most misleading part of all, the numbers. We bought it for this, we put this much into it, we sold it for this, and here's our profit. Ta-da!
So you were listed at $675. We did invest the full $100,000, but we feel incredibly confident starting our list price at $850. So that's going to leave us, once we get back our $100,000, $75,000 in additional profit from where you were at the $675. So that.
After 3 weeks on the market, we got multiple offers, which drove the sale price up from $399,000 to $405,000. After closing costs, we'll make a profit of $55,000.
No, that's not how it works. What's missing are the closing costs, the holding costs, financing, commissions, taxes, and time. A lot of time. And then there are the rental budgets. Some of these shows throw out numbers that just don't make sense. To a contractor, they're laughable.
They really beat the odds with this house. A low asking price in a hot neighborhood always means competing offers, but we went in strong and the seller accepted. So let's see if their luck carries over to the reno.
You've got $60,000 and we want to help you figure out the best use of your money to do a really quality renovation.
There is no world where some of those projects get done for that price. It creates a false expectation, and that is where people get burned. Here's something subtle but very important, and that's the language. Great for entertaining. Lots of natural light. Open concept. You'll hear the same phrases over and over, and that's not accidental. That's marketing research in action.
Something maybe with some privacy, big enough so that we can entertain our family.
Tons of windows, natural light. It's a great open and spacious floor plan.
These shows are telling you what sells. Now, it's packaged, and it's definitely repetitive, and it can get really annoying. But if you step back, you're getting insight into buyer psychology, what people respond to, what people value, and that's useful as long as you don't blindly follow it. And then there's this, the acting.
Hitting that big wall of brown with our sanctuary white instantly makes that living room seem bigger and brighter.
Because at the end of the day, these are still TV shows. There's plenty of evidence out there on the web and on YouTube and a bunch of other places that a lot of these shows are simply fake. A lot of the people that you see in them are B-grade actors that they hire to play the role in these programs. People just don't talk like this.
I feel like the beam wouldn't pop the same if the walls weren't white, and same with the brick.
So I went with a super light blue on it.
Oh, nice. That'll pop off the wall.
Yeah.
Kids don't walk into rooms and say, wow, that fireplace really pops. I literally saw a 10-year-old girl on one of these programs say that. That's scripted, or at the very least, it's heavily coached. And once you start noticing it, you can't unsee it.
There we go.
Ta-da, there she is. I love it. I think it looks great.
All right.
Woo!
There's a little sticky paint for you.
Gross.
That the old floats just aren't salvageable.
It's not reality. It's strictly entertainment pretending to be reality. So what can you actually learn from TV? A few things. First, design awareness. What's possible and what tends to sell? But you have to filter it. You have to use your critical thinking skills, because mixed in with that is a bunch of drama, bad math, and a version of reality that oftentimes doesn't actually exist. If you treat these shows as education, you're going to make bad decisions. But if you treat them as entertainment, and extract out the useful parts, now they have value. And that's the difference. Thanks for checking out the Home Strategist. If you appreciated this content, give us a like, drop us a comment, and please subscribe to the channel.